It's Sunday, November 30th, 2025. It is the 334th day of the year, and we've got some crazy weather to talk about. As a major winter storm is about to stretch from the Ozarks all the way into the Northeast, and the messy part is going to be figuring out who gets snow, who gets ice, and who gets rain. So let's jump right into it. This is the latest winter storm severity index. I'm looking at this on the WEATHERWISE app, and what this tells us is on the day 2 outlook here, we have a large area that's likely going to receive minor impacts from a winter storm. This is just the latest info that we have, but this is painting an area from Kansas through Illinois, Indiana, Ohio, a lot of the same places that just got hit by a decent winter storm under the gun for a potential new area of interest that we'll talk about here in a minute. But also notice how we've got some highlighted areas down here in the Ozarks and also down here in the central Appalachians. This is what's really interesting to me. There's a legit ice threat that's starting to form up here that we really need to talk about. Okay, let's take a look at the progression of this storm on the GFS model. You can see today into tonight, it's going to be impacting the Rockies from Utah over into Colorado here. We're going to have several areas that see accumulating snow before the low pressure center even jumps over the Rockies and starts pulling in that Gulf moisture. This is where it's going to start impacting a lot of people, specifically down here in the Ozarks. Once again, we've got a lot of models here trying to say that a lot of this Gulf moisture is going to run into some cold air here, and it's going to fall as rain, but freeze on impact and cause some problems with freezing rain. The models are all over the place with how intense it's going to be, but it does look like it's going to be enough to at least talk about here as we go into your Monday afternoon and Tuesday morning. There could be some heavy bands of freezing rain setting up from western Tennessee down into central Arkansas. And then as we go earlier into the morning on Tuesday, there could be some significant freezing rain that builds up over here in the Appalachian Mountains in West Virginia and Virginia. And of course, look north of that, and we've got ourselves some snow in Missouri, Illinois, Indiana, over there along the Ohio River into Ohio, and this will translate into some potential heavy snow for someone in the Northeast. Okay, it doesn't look like a coastal storm. This looks like an interior Northeast kind of thing where the coastal areas get soaked and somebody in the Catskills and Berkshires are going to get buried. So that's what it's looking like right now. But there's also a thin stripe of potential freezing rain problems up here for the Mid-Atlantic that we've got to prepare for as well. So right now, I'm mainly focused on the ice and the snow. The rain is also going to be an issue, but we'll talk about that here in a minute. I want to be very clear that so far this doesn't look like a blockbuster Big Daddy snowstorm. We just had one of those, all right? We had 15 inches of snow across Iowa, over a foot of snow between Milwaukee and Chicago, and it's still snowing as I film this in portions of the Great Lakes region. This upcoming storm has the potential to be something big, but right now the national blend of models, which is all the models kind of averaged out, is showing a general 2 to 4 inch, 3 to 6 inch type of deal for the vast majority of people. Let me actually dig into this a little bit. So up here around Dubuque and Davenport, we're talking about 4 inches of snow. Columbus, Ohio, 3 inches. Cincinnati, 3 inches. A lot of Pennsylvania could see more than that, but it's kind of messy over here because this is a mixture of a couple of inches from today, a couple of inches from this upcoming storm. If there's going to be any real winners here, it might be in the higher elevations of Massachusetts and Vermont and New Hampshire, where there are a couple of places that are potentially going to see over 6 inches of snow. Now, this is just an average. This is a conservative forecast. There's a chance that this turns into something more significant, but as of right now, let's just kind of prepare for a moderate winter storm with potential major impacts if the ice actually comes to fruition. Right now, the national blend of models is painting less than 1/10 of an inch of ice down here in Arkansas. Once again, this is a conservative forecast. There's definitely a possibility that a few areas will see more ice than that, but the consensus is starting to look a little bit more concerning for our friends in the Appalachian Mountains, even down here in North Carolina. 1/10 of an inch is going to be possible, especially in some of the higher elevations. Maybe even closer to 1/4 of an inch is looking possible up here towards West Virginia. So if that happens, we'll have some isolated power issues and stuff like that. But once again, I want to be very clear that this storm is teetering teetering on getting some more energy induced into it that maybe the models aren't seeing right now. And if that happens and we start talking about a 1/4 inch of ice and 6 inches of snow, then this is going to be a much bigger deal. But right now, we're hoping for the best, and we're hoping for a minor impact storm. We're also going to see some marginal impact from the rainfall side of this storm. We got an excessive rainfall outlook from Houston up to Atlanta, and this is going to be from the heavy rain showers that will be happening on the warm side of the storm, and we're likely going to see enough rain to potentially cause some isolated, very isolated flooding conditions if you are highlighted in the green. As you can see, total rainfall amounts over the next 3 days will be anywhere between 1/2 inch to maybe 2 inches of rain, especially along the coastal areas here. Maybe some places out in the Outer Banks might get away with more than 2 inches of rain. Cape Cod might get away with a little bit more than 2 inches of rain, but you can see the vast majority, everyone else, is going to be right at or below 1 inch of total liquid accumulation. Now, the real story with this upcoming storm is going to be the cold air that is allowed to come in behind it. Look at temperatures as we go into Monday morning. These are not wind chills, okay? These are real approximate ground temperatures, -5, -7, -8 up here in South Dakota and Minnesota. Even down there towards Madison, Wisconsin, we're going to be near 0 degrees. Chicago will be right at 15 to 20 degrees. St. Louis will be at 24. It's going to be cold even all the way down there into Nashville. And then that second big plume of cold air is going to dip down even farther into northern Illinois. Some of the negative temperatures will be possible. And this pattern is going to stick around for quite some time. There's going to be another big drop in temperatures as we go into Thursday even. And we're talking about -20 degree temperatures, like actual temperatures, not with the wind chills, up there in Minnesota as we go into Thursday. And then Friday, that lobe of cold air is going to drop down into the Great Lakes and Northeast. And once again, I do think that we're going to be in this cold pattern for quite some time. And the Climate Prediction Center tends to agree here. We've got the 6 to 10 day outlook showing much below average temperatures from Chicago all the way over to Boston. And we're going to continue to see that ridge build in the west, and warm temperatures continue to propagate over there between San Francisco and Seattle. And this is just going to be the pattern that we're in for a little while. I don't know when we'll get out of this, but it's going to keep the possibility for snow around. All right, we're talking about a potential widespread minor to major snowstorm coming up if you include the ice impacts as well. I think that it's safe to say that this could be a major storm. But right after that, I'm not even talking about it yet because it's too far out. But there's another storm that could come through and bring about some more snow to even more southern states. This is the pattern that we're in. If you're a winter weather lover, stay tuned. More information will come out. And as far as this next storm goes that we're talking about for this area right here, I'll have another video tomorrow, and if things are looking more interesting or more powerful with the amount of moisture and energy that's getting induced into the storm, I will let you know. But right now, I'm trying to turn down the hype meter a little bit because I know people are excited from the fact that we just had a big storm. I don't want anybody to think this is going to be a repeat of that. But hey, we ain't even got into winter yet, and we're already talking about multiple shots of real winter weather across a good chunk of the United States. So if you saw the live stream yesterday, you saw everybody with their y'all meters. If you want one of those, we do sell them over on shopryanhall.com. You can get them right now, and we'll be shipping them out as fast as we can. We're selling a lot of these, so we're kind of slow. We're a small team, but bear with us, and especially as we get into December and January, I think there's going to be a lot of people out here with these Yalla meters, and we're going to be able to build a really cool custom data set of some accurate snow maps that will help everybody involved in the weather industry. So if you want one of these, go over to shopryanhall.com, click on Yalla meters. We've also got some other stuff out there. We got Y'all Bought shirts, Christmas Tornado shirts. We've got Plum Wild shirts, pretty much anything that you could think of. We've got some fun stuff over here on shopryanhall.com, including the very necessary, in my opinion, NOAA weather radios. So if you want to support us, click that link in the description. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Thank you for watching. I will see you in the next one. Goodbye.